Oh, fuck. I feel like shit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you both look like shit, too. Thanks.
I won't be talking much during the podcast.
Oh, you talk enough, though. I'm going to prompt you. I'm gonna ask you specifically questions that you can answer.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone got a bit? We could just begin with you guys saying you feel like shit. No bits? It's just looking around the room, trying to seek out a good bit.
How about we set the room on fire with the candle?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm on an expedition, on a little hunt for bits.
Oh,
That's the bit.
he's the bit king.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm the bit
Seeker.
adventurer.
The bit adventure.
The
Yes.
traveller.
I'm the bit adventurer.
The adventures
And
of
we go
Hector.
adventuring, looking for
Hector.
bits. I don't even have enough energy to do a bit.
Yeah.
You're very worn out.
I'm very
Should I
worn
just
out. You
start?
do the bit.
Okay. Hello. I've got nothing. Yeah, what a disappointment this has been.
I think we should turn it off.
Yeah, let's just start again.
Jesus.
No bits.
No bits today. Just the
bits.
real, raw, hard truth. Welcome to the episode Real, Raw, Hard Truth. And in today's
So
episode...
36.
No, this is episode 1 of Real, Raw, Hard Truth. It's our new podcast, Real, Raw, Hard Truth. And today, we're going to bring you the truth. As real, raw, and hard as it comes. And that is that we drank last night.
It is January 1st. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. We all drunk.
Mm.
When we were drunk. We got drunk. I threw up.
Yeah.
Leander threw up.
Where did you fart, Hector?
I don't know.
Actually, let's ask Leander
everywhere.
first, because Leander is the better man. Where did you fart, Leander?
Well, I spent about 2 hours over a toilet. Over a toilet. That was fun. And then the worst part is, just when I thought I was all done, 2 hours, that's a substantial amount of time to get anything done, let alone throwing up into a toilet.
Yeah.
So then I go over to the bed and I lie down, and well, when I wake up in the morning, I'm told that just a little bit of sick, but it somehow made its way over the edge of the bed. So
And onto the carpet.
yeah, and onto
Wow,
the
so
carpet.
you did a tiny little bit of sick on the carpet.
Yeah,
That's awful.
yeah.
Where did you fart, Hector?
See, the toilet was... I'm an elitist. I didn't want to throw up in the toilet. That's where the peasants throw up.
That's where poo goes.
Exactly. That's where poo goes. I didn't want to be there. So I naturally threw up all over my beautiful, pristine carpet.
New carpet. You've been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we've been here 2 weeks. Yeah. And we're going to have to hire in a professional carpet cleaner.
And a professional bodybuilder to beat the shit out of you. On the carpet.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of sick.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was orange because Hector had been drinking a lot of vodka and orange juice, and it was so orange. And I was also quite drunk. No one knew I was drunk, but I forgot about that. And I asked, "Hey, why is it so orange?" And Hector said the very reasonable thing with, "Oh yeah, I had some peanut butter chicken earlier today."
Something which is not even slightly orange.
Not even slightly orange.
Yeah.
Way less orange than orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's definitely stained. There's a lot of discoloration there. It's probably very acidic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably try and get it out of the carpet as soon as possible. So tonight I will wash it some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hire a new guy. There was also bits of blood on the carpet because Hector's girlfriend, Shimon, friend of the podcast, just like cut her toe.
Somewhere.
And we don't know how it happened or when it happened.
She must have banged it on like a corner of something really
She felt
hard.
no pain. But I was just like, I was like, there's a lot of blood just around. Then I spotted her foot in the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, you must have stepped in like, oh no, that's you. Yeah, that's you. That's your blood.
Yeah.
And she looked at it and she was like, oh, fuck me. Like, yeah. And I said, no, I'm a gentleman.
Unless there was like broken glass on the floor if we dropped any bottles or anything.
Nah, it was like right on the tip of the toe.
Yeah,
She'd have to like have kicked the glass.
She must have banged her toe on something.
Yeah.
So that was our New Year's Eve night.
Yeah.
We also did karaoke, which was fun, and we played The Mind.
Played
It's like
Mind,
a
played
fun
charades.
card game. We played charades.
Yeah, like you did on Christmas.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
We won.
Yeah. I think the hardest one was one that Leander wrote for me. Did you write the satanic verses?
Yeah, the satanic verses.
Yeah, the satanic verses.
So I had to perform that for Hector, and man, oh man. So I ended up, the easy. Satanic. I was doing a devil sign, the horns. He was like, alright, devil, demons. And I was like, okay, we're getting nowhere. So I was like, sounds like, and then I laid down. He was like, okay, lay. Yeah, second syllable. Can. Lay can. What could that possibly be? And eventually he got Satan.
Yeah.
Verses was more difficult, so I had to improvise. I was like, okay, in order to get verses, we're going to need to do a whole new game of charades. 3 words, it's a movie. And it was Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And that's how we eventually got there. But that took like fucking...
That's okay.
15 minutes just on that one.
I will say, I think one that I did that perhaps wasn't on the more difficult end, but it was unique. Barbaric. I had to act out barbaric, and so obviously you can't act out. I mean, you could try and act out barbaric and have them guess it, but the chances of that being guessed is slim to none.
Yeah.
So I went about it by acting it out syllable by syllable.
Yeah.
So
which I was hoping you would do, which is why I did it bar.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I know a really hard one. What was it? Gulliver's Parrot.
No,
that one.
Floorbert's Parrot.
Floorbert's Parrot.
Like, what the fuck?
That was difficult.
The easiest one of the night was Lolita, the very first one, because he just started laughing. I was like, laughing out loud, lol. Lolita is obvious to me at that point. You didn't need to do anything else. That was over in like a minute. I felt like a king.
Actually, no, I think the quickest one was Goodnight Mummy.
No, Lolita was way quicker.
Was that quicker?
Yeah, that was quicker, bro. Yeah. That was quicker. Goodnight Mummy was quick too, don't get me wrong, but Lolita was quicker. Oh. I just destroyed it instantly.
Actually, Jacob's Ladder was probably...
but that was bullshit. Oh, okay. So I did Jacob's Ladder because I was like, okay, ladder, that might be easy. Jacob, no. And then it gets to Shamong, she reads it, she goes, oh! And she runs to a cupboard and pulls out a load of Jacob's biscuits. If I'd known there was something in the room with the word Jacobs, not even Jacobs.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, what was it? Prometheus, she went over, picked up something that had the letters P-R-O on it and just showed, that's definitely cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
That is 100% cheating.
But the Jacobs thing, that annoyed me. That annoyed me a lot. And then I found out that you'd done Jacob's Ladder in your last game of charades anyway, so you probably would have gotten it.
I would have gone, if I got Ladder, I would have guessed Jacob's Ladder immediately.
Yeah, but how was I supposed to know that, man?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Overall, it was a terrible night.
I think there was only one that that you didn't get. The one, what was it?
Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah,
Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window.
Yeah.
Which I think that was a great one.
Yeah. See, I think
that's the game.
Originally he did, because he wasn't sure on the title. He put Alfred Hitchcock's
Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But it's not Alfred Hitchcock, it's...
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's it, yeah.
But I didn't think we should correct it. I thought it'd be funny if you had to guess the wrong thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I think... See, the thing is, if it was you or Hector guessing, I reckon you could have gotten it.
Yeah.
But I don't think... Shamong or Libby would have gotten Alfred the way I was acting it out, because I was going about
connection was brilliant.
Yeah, I was going about getting Alfred by Batman, which I in hindsight maybe there was a different way to act out Batman, but in the previous Batman versus Superman, the way that you got verses in Satanic Verses, you acted out Batman versus Superman, and so I thought, to get Batman is going to be a piece of piss. Yeah. I'm just going to do the exact same thing you did.
Yeah. A precedent had been set.
Yeah. And so I did the exact same thing, except Devil and Satan was guessed, because I had the
it wasn't just about the horns, because I was doing the horns, but then I did the eyes, and I felt like that's
superhero.
I see.
That's more obvious,
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, you fucked it, and we won the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also played Exploding Kittens, which is my first time playing, and I was way too out of it, so I didn't really get it, and I died immediately.
Yeah.
Literally immediately. The first card I picked up was an exploding kid.
It's a fun game. I like that game.
It was okay. It was fine. Yeah. 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 New year. This won't be the first episode of the year because we've got one releasing tomorrow, which is reviewing The Church on Ruby Road.
Yeah.
But we're going to do something today that we should have done then. We're going to just talk about 2023.
The year. Yeah.
The year, give our top and bottom things of the year.
Well, technically now it is last year. That's last year. Wow. Yeah. It is now. I
wanted to start with top 10 wars. Number 10 we have no.
There were quite a lot of wars.
There were a lot of wars,
going on, weren't there? Yeah.
Top 10 terror attacks.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. A lot of violence happened last year.
Yeah, it's very violent. Yeah. I mean, how was your 2023, Leander?
It was relatively good, I'd say. We ended up doing, I think, a lot of the things that I wanted to do, as far as saying yes to more activities, just going out and doing more things.
Filling up
definitely
more toilets.
Yeah. But no, that all happened. So, all sorts of things like wakeboarding,
skateboarding.
Yeah. Well, the snowboarding will inevitably be this year because didn't have the opportunity. Well, it was towards the end of December that I was asked, and so February of this year is when I'll be going.
Right. I pulled that my arse, and you actually are planning on going snowboarding.
Yeah.
Surfboarding? You ever been surfing?
No, I didn't. We were going to.
That would be quite fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. We were going to go jet skiing.
That would be fun.
Wow. When we were me and Hector were on holiday in China.
Oh yeah, we did want to do that.
But unfortunately, we were interrupted with a typhoon. So yeah,
understandably.
Yeah,
you should have flown the jet ski.
Really, honestly,
broke it apart.
Apparently, the centre of the typhoon is the safest place, though. That's where it's calmest. Yeah, so we should go there. It would be like a haven of, peaceful. And
how about you? What was your year like?
Oh, I suddenly remembered after having a look at some other things. Rock climbing, that was something that I tried and enjoyed.
I mean, you both went to China. That was this.
Yeah, that's true. We both went to China.
China was fun.
That was loads of fun.
Wait,
China.
You guys went to China?
We went to China. It was a diverse and culturally rich experience.
Wow.
And I went skydiving, which was loads of fun. Went skydiving with Peter. Definitely one of the most exciting things that I've done.
And pie diving.
And lie diving. You lie while diving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I will say this much, as far as the skydiving goes, it was definitely over a lot quicker than I would have thought.
Well, yeah, you're falling from the sky. You reach terminal velocity.
Well, that's true, but it goes quicker than you think it. You feel like, skydiving, you're going to be falling through the air thousands of meters.
I would expect it to be like an 8-minute experience.
It was 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2?
Yeah.
How high up are you?
The one that we did was 10,000 feet.
Oh, well, that explains it. That's not that high.
Could you even imagine 10,000?
10,000 feet?
No, for skydiving, that's not that high, but there are people who skydive for
Look at your feet.
30, 40,000.
10,000.
The highest you're allowed to go is, without like specialist training, I think is like 30,000.
Yeah, like I just said, 30,000.
But it's very rare to come across. You can't do that in the UK.
You can't do it in the UK?
No.
That's bollocks,
You
mate.
can only do it in the US.
No, not only in the US. I had a friend who did that in New Zealand.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, you can't, the highest you can do in the UK, without, like a skydiving instructor certificate or whatever, is, I think, 20,000, maybe a little bit under 20,000.
Why didn't you go for 20,000 then? What, you coward? You scared?
No, the difference actually is in price.
Oh.
It's a more expensive.
Is it twice as expensive?
No, but imagine paying lots of money for an experience that you turn out to not like. I'd rather go for the 10,000 feet and know now that I enjoy it.
Well, as a practice one, you should have done it from 100 feet.
Just
to see if you'd enjoy it.
Jumped off the top of the Clare Castle.
I did, unsurprisingly, find out that the most enjoyable part of it was the free fall. Once the parachute opens and you're kind of gliding around, it's fun for a little bit, but the free fall is infinitely better than just gliding.
I mean, I haven't done skydiving, but I've done bungee jumping, and the falling is definitely the best part, because it's just the idea of like, wow, I'm gonna die, finally, and then you know.
I will say it definitely wasn't scary. It was more exhilarating, if anything.
Were you strapped to a guy then?
Yes. So
be honest, that was your favourite part of it.
It was actually weird being strapped to the guy, because as you jump out the plane, it's less of a jump and more of like a roll, but he's sitting on the edge and you're you're strapped to the front of him. So obviously, to stop you just pulling him out of the aeroplane immediately, you kind of have to you have to lean back with your head and also tuck your feet underneath the aeroplane.
Wow, like a little turtle.
Yeah, like a banana. Yeah. And then he leans forward and pushes you out, and you do a whole like front flip out of the plane.
Nice.
That's cool.
Which is loads of fun. But yeah, that was definitely something on the bucket list that ticked off.
Imagine if it just like went wrong. You cool.
Imagine if the plane crashed into the World Trade Center.
Well, I'll say this much: skydiving is very, very safe amongst lots of activities, because, well, let's put it this way: that the dude that I was jumping with, he'd been doing it for 40 years, and he goes on multiple jumps every day.
He's alive and well.
And he's perfectly fine.
See, when I went bungee jumping, I didn't have a fear, but if anything, I thought it'd be funny if I jump, I'm going towards the ground, and just the rope is too long. I just
splash onto the concrete. The fucking blood puddle.
The rope just dangling.
One thing I've realised about anything like adrenaline sports related is that the more chance of something going wrong, the more fun, the
rope extends fully. I splat and then I just go back up. I continue splatting. But yeah, no, it's a huge adrenaline rush. It really is.
And so even if something like, I mean, obviously they've got a backup chute as well, but even if, say, the main chute failed, I feel like that would almost be more fun.
Yeah, if it's your first time, they should actually do that. They should bring a second chute that doesn't work and try that first, so they can have that moment of like, it's not pulling. What are we gonna do? For a bit, you can be like, oh my god.
Well, you wouldn't be able to hear a thing.
Oh, he can sign it to you in front of you.
Yeah,
it's not pulling.
But unless he like leans over and shouts in your ear, you can't really hear what's being said, because you're basically going like 100 miles an hour.
Alright, what you should do then? He should give you a rope you can pull, and he should explain like, hey, when you pull this rope, I'll tap you when to do it, pull it, parachute opens. He taps you, you pull it, and it just comes right off.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit.
Then he just grabs you in a better hook.
That actually reminds me of, there's a roller coaster ride in America, I can't remember where, but they're renowned. I mean, they're renowned now, so it's no surprise for people going there. But they used to have like a drop, and the instructor, he'd be like messing with stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, hold on, guys!" And the button to release them and start the ride was delayed.
Yeah.
So he'd press it and then walk over to them and be like, "Oh, hold on, your seatbelt's not strapped in properly."
Yeah, yeah.
And then before he can get to them, it's just whoosh, and they all just
That's a classic.
Yeah. That would be loads of fun if you didn't know it was coming. But now that it's really popular, everyone who goes there knows that it's going to happen.
There was a Nathan For You bit. It's a bit unrelated, but it gives me a similar vibe. Where, the kind of, the fake haunted houses you could walk through to try and get scares. Well, Nathan was like, well, those aren't really scary. So we got to try and make the scariest one in America. So what he does is that he makes it normal, but he has like, you know, the performers, and one of them grabs out and you know, will grab you and be like, ah. And then the tour stops and someone comes out and is like, did she touch you? Did she touch you? Did you touch? She's got Crohn's disease. It's a very serious, contagious disease. You need to come with me. Then guys with hazmat suits come. You get loaded into an ambulance, taken into a secure location. And then at the end, there's a giant tent, and they're like, "You need to go in there." And, you know, because they're often with someone, and that person's arguing. They're like, "Sir, you need to step back." They enter the tent, and Nathan's just there like, "So how did you enjoy the tour?"
That would be really.
It's a great idea, and again, if you didn't know it was coming, it'd be really effective.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the idea of accidentally ripping the cord off and having just that, even just a split second of, oh my fucking god, for your first time, that'd be fucking brilliant.
Well, there was something. The place that we went to, it's the only place in the UK where. So after the free fall, obviously they pull the chute, and then the instructor's guiding where you're going with these two handles that are connected to the parachutes.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, unless you didn't have a license to skydive solo, you wouldn't be able to hold it yourself. Obviously, only the instructor can guide where you're going.
Yes. You might
for obvious reasons.
You might just put your hand on it and then immediately you're
exactly.
sideways falling to the.
However, we were able to do that. So he handed them over, and it was loads of fun actually.
Usually just like driving around in the sky.
Yeah, basically, you know, you pull down on one side, you go, and then you can do like donuts in the sky with the.
No.
You should have just like not let go and like flown for hundreds of miles. End up in Scotland.
Fly across the ocean to America.
Land on a ferry, you know. But no, that sounds awesome. How about you, Hector, then? How was your year?
My year was pretty good. I guess most of my year was focused on work, to be fair. I think, focusing on getting a new job and then moving out into this new house where we're recording this podcast right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Where there's a big puddle of a
big puddle of sick. I actually vomited in this room. I was keeping it as a surprise for now.
I could feel it in my toes.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys didn't notice that the entire floor is covered in vomits, but yeah,
that's recent. You did that.
I did that. That was why we went to the pub to go and order all of those meals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my year, I guess, was mostly focused on work. What did I do this year?
Last year.
I guess, yeah. Wow, now it's last year. What did I do? What did we do?
What did you do?
Well, I guess went to China. That was nice.
Yeah. They're just stealing the Anders ones now.
Yeah. So I also went skydiving. That was, great, great fun.
I'm sorry to butt in, but we should definitely all go skydiving together.
Oh yeah. You know what else we should do? I mean, I feel like we got to do an escape room at some point.
Oh,
I've never done one. I'd love to do.
You've never done one?
No.
I've done.
There's one in
2 or 3.
Wow.
So, and every time fucking failed miserably.
Yeah. The one we did in Cambridge was good fun. The one that we did, it's called, Lockhouse Games or something like that. And they have different rooms with different themes. There's like an Egyptian one. There's like a jungle one. There's like a...
I think out of all of them, I definitely enjoyed that one the most.
Yeah, that was good fun. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's skydiving and that I would love to do that with you guys.
Yeah, we should totally do an escape room.
Skydiving is part of the escape room.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Where you land in the room.
That would be actually, that's such a good idea. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Yeah. We were planning on doing like the manhunt in Ibiza last year, but that never materialised. No. Maybe that will happen this year.
2030.
Yeah, 2030. Yeah. I mean, it could happen this year. We could just do it in America instead of Ibiza.
Yeah, but that's not as fun.
It's not, is it? No.
Ibiza's like a totally foreign land to us all.
It is, yeah. Yeah, we could go to like Vietnam, into the Viet Cong.
That's not funny. Yeah. We go to Venice.
You could go to Venice. Yeah, Venice would be a good one to do it in, actually. Yeah. Or Greece. Wait, did I? Oh yeah, I went on holiday to Greece. Yeah, I went on holiday to Greece last year with Luke.
Last year? Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Fucking when?
Don't you remember?
No.
He bought me a souvenir to bring when he came back.
Remember I put a message in the group chat being like, I'm in Greece, guys, and you were all like, oh, well, no, you're not. And I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah, it was like a real spontaneous little trip, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, just went to Greece with Luke for like...
You had like those rum and cokes that were like fucking 80% rum.
Yeah, I vomited all over the... no, I didn't actually.
All over your new carpet.
Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, I went to Greece. It was a lot poorer than I thought it would be. There were like people doing crack on the streets and stuff.
Sorry, I was there. Crack.
Right. So yeah,
ruining the atmosphere. Yeah.
What else this year? I mean, that's pretty much been it. Yeah, I left. Made now is that? That should probably be censored, shouldn't it?
What, the company? Or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that should probably be censored.
No, instead of having me to censor it, can you just restart the sentence?
Yeah. Yeah, I finished working at. That's done. I finished working at the previous company I worked at, obviously.
Just say I left my previous company or something.
Let's just end the podcast.
Yeah.
Just end the podcast.
Yeah,
no. Well, what else did I do last year? Not that much. Yeah, it was mostly work focused for me.
Yeah. I mean, you left your other company.
Yes, I did. Yeah, left my previous company to start working at the new company. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and Sammy is now coincident. Has Sammy been on the podcast yet?
Not yet, but he will be.
He will be. Yeah. Well, the man who will be joining on the podcast at some point. He's now working at the company which I left.
Yeah, and you got him that job.
Yeah,
because he's your best friend
in the whole wide world. Yeah. But who knows what this new year will have in store? Hopefully, really.
Yeah, I know.
Holy shit! Yeah. You know what this year has in store for me.
Yeah, and by the way, Leander, really sorry, pal. I'm really sorry about what's coming up, man.
Oh no.
Damn. You'll get through it, but just not well.
He knows I'm going to just completely flop that competition.
Yeah.
Last competition I'm joining.
Yeah, not only that, but like...
I'm going to die going snowboarding in Austria.
Let me just put it this way. Use your legs while you can.
Oh, no.
Because eventually you won't.
You know, that's the weird thing. Everyone who seems to get into like serious accidents or has these life-altering injuries, it always seems to be snow sports.
Yeah.
Skiing, snowboarding,
ice hockey.
Yeah, ice hockey. I don't know.
It could be ice hockey.
It could be ice hockey.
You don't know.
It's actually really okay.
Why couldn't it be ice hockey?
if you have watched ice hockey, they're really fucking aggressive. They're like
That's just Canadians, man. Canadians playing sports are just brutal with each other.
Yeah, no, just be careful.
I'd go snowboarding. Snowboarding would be fun. I wouldn't go skiing. That seems like, with like the little spindly things. I'd rather have
your little big long shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the way that Jamie described the difference between snowboarding and skiing to me was that
one's for boys, one's for men.
Snowboarding, it looks cooler because you're able to learn lots of tricks, similar to how skateboarding you can learn loads of tricks. And skiing, it's easier to pick up, but you can
to learn, hard to master.
Yeah, easy to learn, hard to master, but you can also go a lot quicker than with a snowboard. And so if you like just going in a straight line quickly, but that kind of thing.
Which is what you want. You just want to go in a straight line.
Then it would be easy to do, Then it would be fairly easy to pick up. There's not a huge learning curve.
I get afraid of like falling into a giant ice cave or like, you see those
being
like, videos.
Eaten by an abominable snowman.
You're skiing and a nuclear bomb is detonated.
You land on a moose and a moose's antlers and just...
Well, like, what is it? Where, like, if you ski too close to a tree, you can, like, fall into, like, this weird, like, hole.
Oh,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's, that? Like, I don't know why it forms, but there'll be...
Oh, actually, it makes sense.
There'll be a layer.
If you think about it, imagine a tree.
I'm imagining it.
Imagine a beautiful tree, a nice tall tree. What is the tree covered with?
leaves.
Correct. Yes, it's covered with leaves.
I wasn't sure if it was a trick question.
You've been spending too much time at that school.
No, it couldn't be a trick question. You could have meant bark.
No, yeah. It's covered with leaves.
Yeah.
And the leaves prevent the snow from settling directly underneath the tree, close to like the trunk of the tree. Right. So when snow builds up, because if it snows loads and like half the tree is under snow,
yeah.
all that section, there isn't any snow there. But the top of the tree has just been covered with a fine layer of snow. Yeah. So then you ski over it and you're just going to fall into this hole, which is the height of the tree.
Trapped in a tree.
And you fall all the way down.
Lots of people die from it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is that how you'd want to die, or would you rather break every bone in your body?
If
you had to die while skiing, which would you rather?
If I had
to fall into a tree or break every bone in your body, or would you rather get burnt?
Would you rather be decapitated by one?
Neither. If I had to die while skiing, it would be like skiing away from an avalanche. I feel like that would be really cool.
I'd want to ski off like a cliff.
Oh, yeah.
And have the people like at the bottom of the cliff being like, Bradley, no!
I feel like that would be cool for the first 80% of it, until then, the end of it.
Well, I feel like
it'd be cool until about halfway down. Then I'd look down and be like, oh no, I'm not going to make this. For a second there, I thought maybe there was a chance. But now I've been falling for 40 seconds and I see there's still 40 seconds to go. It's like, no, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Well, it depends actually. Have you seen that video of somebody who falls off a cliff and while he's skiing and he just gets up and walks away?
Yeah, but that guy was built different.
Because
Hector.
What if you're travelling like forwards fast enough?
Well, at that point, if it's fast enough, you never stop, and you end up circling back.
You die, but not from hitting the floor too hard. You die from travelling so fast and smashing into a building.
Yeah, exactly. That's how 9/11 wasn't planes, mate. It was just yeah. But yeah, anything else happened to you this year?
I found it.
We can. Oh, I don't care.
No, but this is.
Go ahead.
We can just cut this.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, those are all like the tops of the trees. Yeah. So underneath that is
Oh wow.
Fuck.
And he was completely fine.
He got cushioned by the snow.
Head hurts a little, and my ribs in the back.
My arm's completely broken.
Imagine his legs are like bent into different shapes. He's just like smiling on the camera. I think I'm okay, guys. My legs are broken. My ribs are shattered. My skull is actually broken in 3 parts. His like face is like deformed to this entire skull.
He spits out a bunch of teeth.
He spits out one of his eyeballs. His eyes like come through out of his head. Oh, sorry, let me just pop that back in.
He lifts down his collar, just gashes him blood. Can't believe I made it.
But yeah, he was falling for a good like few seconds.
Yeah, that was like 10 seconds, yeah.
And he landed on powdery snow, which braced his fall.
That was such a big laugh that I don't have it in my heart to cut that. I feel like that needs to stay in. That was so joyous. But yeah, no, that's still not, because I said you fall for 40 seconds and you realise you're already halfway. So that's like an 80-second fall.
40 seconds.
Yeah. Imagine that, you'd definitely die. Because I barely consider that's a hill. That's not a cliff. I think of cliffs, I think of capital C.
No, that was a cliff. Just to put
You're
it
talking
into
about like a mountain.
No, you're talking about falling out of a plane. Because think about, like 10,000 feet is like a minute and a half.
Mm.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 40 seconds is like
is fucking
taller than a
far.
mountain. Actually,
No,
if you jumped off
actually-
the top of Mount Everest,
Yeah.
then maybe that would be. 40
Actually, no. 10,000 feet would be much quicker because we pulled the parachute and were gliding for ages.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So 10,000 feet was probably, if you just jumped straight out, probably 40 seconds.
Okay, well, when
To
I
a
say
minute.
when I say 40 seconds and then you're halfway, I mean like, you know, because time moves slower.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually been
2 seconds.
12.
Okay. Well, what about Mount Everest?
Ah, yes.
Wait, what is that in feet?
Feet.
20. Okay, Mount Everest is 30,000. Banned from this podcast.
I gave it 29,000 feet though. So yeah, if you just jump off Mount Everest.
There's a lot of feet, isn't there?
But yeah, no, exactly. So off Mount Everest, that's how I would go. If I was to die skiing, I'd ski directly from the top of Mount Everest.
All the way to the base of the mountain.
Yeah.
Which means also, because the mountain it's not like just a point. It's actually like that. So you'd have to like be travelling in that direction for like, you'd have to have some speed. Basically, Bradley, I think you haven't thought about the logistics behind this very well.
No, I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't need to explain them to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else this year?
Well, what about you?
What about me?
Yeah, what about your year?
It was alright. That's all I've got, yeah. No, it's alright. I mean, I've had worse. Still alive.
Yeah.
Got a new job, you know. Wrote scripts.
Oh, we went to see Auntie Donna.
We did go to see Auntie
one.
Donna.
Yeah, that was quite a big one. Yeah, we went to see Auntie Donna.
Went to Poland.
Oh shit, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
the salt place.
Yeah, I went to see a salt mine in Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost went to a day rave.
Almost. A whole 12-hour rave in the
Jesus
middle of the
Christ.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Then we chose not to. We had a significantly better time in Cambridge.
We did. Yeah.
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 Didn't really do much else. My life is falling apart. Mostly just watched shit. And wrote shit. And lived shit.
Please do not make this another room with vomit on the floor.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... I've got big things planned, but this year was pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
This year was mostly about working and trying to have more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? Food-wise, was there any exceptional meals?
Yeah, I had the best steak I've ever had in a restaurant in Poland. It was like a fucking amazing steak.
Wow.
I weeped. I weeped openly
Onto the steak.
onto the steak and the plate.
Yeah.
And the server came over and was like, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "It's beautiful."
And then you tipped him £1 million.
Well, I tipped him £1 million Polish pounds, which for me was about £50. So everything's really cheap there, if you didn't know.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was the same in Greece. Everything was pretty cheap.
Yeah. I actually had the best burger I've ever eaten. And it was out of a van.
Really?
Yeah, which there's a kebab place which sells it out the side of this like van, and there's like a kitchen area attached to it.
Yeah, I know what fucking.
And
Jesus Christ.
I'm setting the scene, okay? And it's actually, I think for like 3 or 4 years running, been like the best kebab place in like the whole of the UK, which I didn't realise until after going there, and then I was like, wow, no wonder this is so good. But it was enormous.
It was a huge burger.
Yeah, it was fucking
It's a pretty goddamn
massive.
big burger. Holy shit.
And yeah, that was
Audience,
pretty
imagine the
eventful.
burger.
Audience, just imagine an enormous burger.
It's as big as you or I.
Big.
They don't know how big we are, so actually it's not a great photo.
As big as a big burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine a burger and imagine it bigger.
Ah,
About
yeah.
that big, yeah.
I also had a very delectable meal when I went
To the pub earlier today.
yes, to the pub earlier today. Actually, no, the meal that we had at the pub earlier today wasn't that good.
No.
Mashed potatoes weren't that good. Also, the sausages were overdone.
Sausages were overdone, yeah.
The gravy was shit.
I give the Crown Inn in Linton 0 out of 10.
I'd give that meal a 5 out of 10. No, actually, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah.
To be fair, my burger patty was they didn't ask how I wanted that. That was a bit overcooked. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I preferred it a little bit
Juicier.
blackier. Yeah, juicier.
Yeah.
But it was free. It was a free burger.
Yeah.
Because they
The
fucked
answer-
up. So,
Yeah, you got a free burger, which that is pretty good. Yeah, the art of the burger is a hard one to master.
yeah.
I'll tell you exactly what happened, why they messed up your burger. That man, he was running off of 2 hours of sleep and an energy drink because the day before, New Year's Eve, he was getting fucked out of his mind.
Did we hear him
Hammered.
swearing?
Yeah, at one point, he left the kitchen and, he went, don't tell me to fuck off. Who do you fucking think you are? And we all looked at each other like, ooh.
Bad day.
Trouble in paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that on the kitchen staff.
Yeah, my first thought was, I bet they had a go at him for fucking up your order.
But he didn't.
He did.
I don't think it was the service fault.
Well,
It's the kitchen's fault, probably.
unless
I bet what happens, because this happens very often. If you're like not really concentrating, there's not many meals coming through the kitchen, and like an order comes through, you'll briefly look at the ticket. He probably just saw burger and just made a burger.
Because the
probably
guy,
didn't pay enough attention to it.
he was so, because when I was like, I don't want any of these things, and I did that to tomatoes, he's actually the one who went, how about the sauce? And I was like, oh, no sauce either, please.
oh, he did, didn't
Yeah. So I don't blame him. I don't
Okay.
think it was his fault at all. And then when the woman came over and I was explaining, from behind her, he went into the kitchen and went, just cheese, guys, just cheese.
he? Oh, I see.
So I think, no, I don't blame him at all. I think it was just,
Oh, they just fucked up in
Yeah.
the kitchen. I see.
you should go and light that fucking pub on fire.
How much boogers and cum was there in that burger, though?
That'd be me.
That's
It should be easier to make that burger. It's not as if I asked for it. I wasn't like, can you also add bacon bits and a lovely creme fraiche, you know, like.
that's the thing though. I'm always terrified, even if they get the order wrong. I'm just terrified of sending anything back to the kitchen because I know that sending it back, they're not going to enjoy that, you know.
And then you're going to get a big old load
then-
of boogers and cum.
Yeah, shit and piss and cum.
See, I was scared to, and normally I wouldn't, except, because I would have been happy to just pick it all off. But that burger sauce is soaked in. You can't pick that. What am I supposed to... like, what am I supposed to do? I had no choice.
Yeah.
I would have just not eaten the burger, and then I would have gone hungry. So it was either not eat anything or eat a burger with perhaps a little dash of boogers and cum.
Yeah. The boogers and cum are fine.
Yeah, you can survive a little boogers and cum.
Yeah.
Plus, did you see the size of your sausages? There were definitely some boogers and cum on that sausage. Yeah.
Well, I hope not.
I reckon those sausages have been deep inside someone's arsehole.
Yeah. Soaked in boogers and cum previously. Sauteed in the boogers and cum. Yeah. Yeah. But I think my best meal of the year was...
Yeah, I forgot we were talking about.
My best meal of the year was not one that I had at the pub. It was one that I had actually when I went to get my visa for going to China. We went to like a restaurant which was close to the visa center, and I had a what's it called? A
Cream fish.
no, not cream fish.
Cream fish.
It was what's the steak called? It's called a
Steak,
it's a type of steak.
T-bone, sirloin, rump. None of those?
None of those. No, it's the other one. It's like round.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck is it called? I fucking forgot what it's called.
Shit, fuck.
I have no idea.
T-bone, sirloin, rump. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's the round one that's
Yeah.
got like the thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is it called?
Wait, I'm gonna Google this.
Ribeye.
Yes,
That's it.
Ribeye, yeah.
Ribeye, yeah.
Okay.
It was a lovely ribeye steak.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. It was perfect. It was sublime.
So we both had amazing steaks.
We did both.
What was everyone's least favourite? For me, unironically, it was that restaurant we went to in London before we went to see Auntie Donna.
Holy fuck!
What?
Yeah, that's
just
hysterical.
a hugely
All right,
disappointing meal.
Yeah.
I
So
wanna hear this.
we went to go see Auntie Donna. And wait, why were we in that part of London?
We've been walking around for hours just looking for something to eat. We were looking for literally anywhere to eat, but surprisingly really hard to find.
In
we
central London.
Yeah, we went to the train station. Well, there was loads of places, but they were all expensive. We wanted somewhere nice and cheap. We went to the train station. We were like, okay, we looked on the map. There should be a Burger King and McDonald's here. Burger King closed. McDonald's closed.
It was the adventure of a lifetime.
It said there was a
took
KFC
ages.
there. Not only was it closed, it was untraceable.
There was no KFC.
There was not a
couldn't
single
find
sign of a KFC.
No.
Damn.
We were literally searching for a restaurant for so long. It must have been like 45 minutes until we eventually found it.
Yeah.
And so we found this like kind of like this street, and it had loads of like fancy looking restaurants. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care if it's a fancy restaurant at this point. I'm fucking starving. I just want to eat food. Yeah. And it looked like one of them.
And I said to Hector, and I was like, look, if it's fancy, okay, you come for money. Actually, no, I didn't say that, but that joke started at that restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, alright, look, if it's too expensive, either I'm not going to eat or I'm not going to pay. And he was just like, I need to go to one of these restaurants, but I'll pay if I have to. Just come with me.
And so we went into the one. The reason why we went into this particular one was because outside there was a sign.
Yeah, there was a sign.
Yeah, there was a sign that said "Best Chicken and Chips in London,"
which I was sceptical of. I was like, well,
Yeah.
who decided that? Was it just the owner?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, chicken and chips sounds good to me. We went inside. It was a fairly empty restaurant. It was like, like contemporary style. What would you call that kind of food? Like Mexican or like?
No, it was Nando's-ish.
It was something similar to like, what that lady that served us.
There was a defining characteristic about her.
It was kind of like Spanish, kind of like Latino.
Yeah. No, but there was something about the server. There's like a key physical feature I'm remembering. Did she have weird teeth?
I can't remember.
Or something like that?
I can't remember.
When I'm trying to picture her, I remember there was something off.
Yeah. But if I can remember her like ethnicity, and I'm pretty sure like the style of food was kind of like Spanish, Mexican-y, Latino.
It was Nando's,
like that. Yeah.
I see.
But yeah.
And then we ordered the food. Now the food, alright, so just put it into perspective. I started with a joke about how much. Actually, no, I started with a joke about how much the meal cost. So the meal, we ordered just like the chicken and chips.
Yeah.
It arrived.
And we got it wasn't much chicken.
Yeah, it was, imagine like a small chicken cut in half without the wing. That was kind of what we got.
Yeah.
It was like that. And it was just like that. Like it had been put in the oven, taken out. It was just like that.
Yeah.
No sauce, no seasoning, just kind of like chicken.
Yeah.
Just a plain chicken.
Yeah, just kind of like plain chicken. And then it came with a small portion of fries.
Yeah.
Definitely small. Not by any means a large portion of fries. And
I'd say there were less than like 15 fries in each portion.
maybe more than that. But like it was
20?
like imagine like the small McDonald's portion of fries. That was kind of how much it was.
I see.
No, I'd say it was more like a KFC portion.
Yeah. It was a small portion of fries either way. And the worst part wasn't even that it was a small portion of fries. The worst part was that they were like fucking bone dry.
Yeah, they were incredibly crunchy, incredibly dry.
It was like they'd been put in the fryer for too long and then taken out of the fryer and just left on the side for like half an hour and then put back into the fryer. Because they were kind of cold as well when we got them. The fries were kind of cold and the chicken wasn't that hot. The whole experience was kind of shit. Yeah. And then it came to,
his little joke.
And then it came to, okay, right, we're starting to finish, and Bradley's like, all right, Bradley's like, so how much was it? And I was like, it was, what was it? It was 34 quid. And Bradley's like, oh, okay, 34 quid. No, 34 quid each. And Bradley's like, what? And Bradley's like,
no, this was his little joke.
This was my joke. But the problem, the thing was, the restaurant looked very fancy and we were in a nice part of London. And Bradley believed me and he was like, I can't afford 34 quid. There's no way this is 34
This is before I got my new job.
Yeah.
But I was also, not only that, but I was like, not only could I not afford it, but I was like, that was not worth 34 quid.
It was really not.
What a fucking... I was angry. I was like, what a fucking waste of money.
The punchline to this is that it actually wasn't far off that, because the whole meal for 2 people was 48 quid. So it was 24 quid for each of our meals. 24 quid.
We had mineral water, and I remember they actually charged us for that too.
Yeah, we had still water and we charged for that, yeah. But the fucking... It was like a shitty, tiny half chicken and a small portion of rice for 24 quid. What a terrible, terrible meal.
Yeah.
Terrible meal.
Yeah, and a part of that is that I had my mate Sam, who was going to come and meet us at the restaurant. And this is where that joke that we say comes from, because I was like, he was like, well, we're already in the middle of eating. Do you think he's gonna order food? And I was like, nah, but he'll pay for ours. He'll pay our food. So my friend Sam comes from money. He has a very rich family. And since then, I love that joke.
Yeah. That's the origin story.
That's the origin of comes from money.
Yeah.
Well,
and then we went to Auntie Donna's shortly afterwards.
Yeah. How about you? What was your least favourite meal?
My least favourite meal, that I can remember just off the top of my head.
Was it that steaming shit sandwich?
It was one that really stuck with me, because not only was it bad, but it was recommended by one of my friends as being really good.
Was it me?
So I already had...
No, okay.
It was Peter. And I already had high expectations of what it was going to be like. And so then I go in, I sit down. It was me and Libby there. And I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, oh, this all looks, it sounds really nice. Because in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, this is going to be really, really good.
And you were like,
that's going to be a good sandwich. And so I wasn't massively hungry. So I just ordered one of the more popular things that was a little bit smaller. And it was this. It was like a breakfast sandwich.
That
it
looks
had
nice.
A fried egg. It had stacks of bacon. It had crispy gem lettuce. It was really, really good looking.
Yeah.
And when it got brought over, I was like, wow, yeah, Peter was right. This place is really nice.
But we didn't know Peter had only seen the sandwich.
No, afterwards I got back to Peter and I was like, I took one bite of that sandwich and there was enough salt there to start up my own salt company. Because I bit into it and I had that moment from Sid the Sloth where all of the moisture in his face is just sucked from it, because it was so salty I could only take 2 bites.
It's like that Cyanide and Happiness sketch.
Yeah. It was exactly like that, because I don't know if... See, the thing is, they didn't accidentally double season it. They accidentally quadruple seasoned it. That's my only conclusion. They must have accidentally somehow...
You should have called one of them over being like, excuse me, there's a bit of sandwich with my salt.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
should have asked like one of the kitchen staff to come over and take a bite.
Well, I said to one of the staff, I'll just double check, and this is super salty. Is it meant to be like this? And he said yes. Yes, it is meant to be.
He didn't say yes, he went, yeah. He sucked on a lemon, he was like, yeah.
But, I mean, after being told that, it was in fact meant to be that salty, I was just like, damn, I paid £14 for that sandwich.
God damn.
Yeah.
Jesus
so
Christ.
It was by no means a cheap sandwich. I mean, it was stacked full of loads of things. Bacon, fried egg, all this stuff.
Mostly salt.
But they must have salted each ingredient.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, they must have salted heavily each ingredient and then maybe salted it afterwards by accident.
It's like that protein shake thing. First thing we're going to do is have the bread. We're going to salt that bread. We're going to have some bacon. Don't forget a little bit of salt on that bacon.
Yeah, it's like
when no one was looking, I added a little bit of salt to the
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like the comedy sketch of the dude making his protein shake, and he's like,
just said, my brother. Yeah.
Oh wait, I thought you were referencing something else.
No, that's exactly what I was.
Oh, that you were
exact.
Oh, okay, damn. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Actually, there was another really disgusting thing that I had, which is fairly recent, and that was the pizza that I ordered. It was a Christmas pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it came with all of the normal things that a pizza has: tomato base, cheese, but then on top of that, it had cranberry sauce, and then.
Where was this?
I think you were
Domino's.
there.
I was Domino's.
Yeah, we ordered it from Domino's. Yeah, it was disgusting. It was actually fucking disgusting. Yeah, it had cranberry sauce on top of the tomato and cheese, and then like also had like turkey and like stuffing and like all the stuff that you have with a Christmas dinner. But it just wasn't nice. It just really wasn't
Bits
nice.
of Brussels sprout and
Jesus
gravy
Christ.
in the stuffed crust gravy. Yeah.
God, Jesus fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I had.
I won't call it the worst, but I had a pretty shitty pizza in Poland where it was like, it was cheap because it was all cheap there, but it was so fucking skinny. It was like I was eating paper. Like, it was so fucking skinny.
I've had that experience as well when the pizza arrived, and if I wanted to, I could fold it up into something I could put in my pocket.
Oh, origami, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it was so thin as well. And the worst part was they didn't even make up for it with loads of toppings.
Yeah.
The toppings were like
no, exactly
barren.
that.
It was like an empty wasteland.
Not only that, but it was like, I don't know why they could do that, but it was like crunchy. It was like a crunchy ass pizza where it was like
the outside was like hard almost.
Yeah.
It's like a type of Italian, like a special type of Italian pizza.
Be, but I thought it was shit.
They have the skinny base, the skinny crust.
I hated that pizza.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
There was
about the most mid meal. I had a bacon sandwich and it was fine. You know.
Actually, there was this one coffee shop that we went to. And me and Libby.
Not us.
Not us.
All of us.
But not all of us.
We went there together.
We went to it and good God, it was so bad. I literally, after one sip, I was like, wow, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Because everything about it was so wrong. Like,
too salty.
I prefer it if they just dumped a truckload of salt in that. Maybe that could have recovered that steaming pile of shit that they served us.
What did you actually buy? Was it coffee or hot chocolate?
Well, whenever I'm like going somewhere that I don't know much about coffee wise, I'll always order like a mocha because that way, if the coffee's bad, the chocolate can make up for it.
Yeah.
The chocolate could not make up for it.
No.
Because the coffee was just... There's no way to describe how bad it tasted. It was like a really shitty blend of like crappy, like the worst retail coffee like that you could buy. And then on top of that, they just burnt the milk and dumped it in.
Yeah.
So it was like this bubbly, shitty, like...
foamy, thick. Like.
It really irks me. It really irks me.
It infuriated me.
Yeah. Worse even that it was paid for as well.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk of some movies, you know?
Yeah, let's get into the movies. Well, we're on the topic of best and worst. What are the best movies you've seen this year?
Well, I mean, just in case we talked about it on the podcast, I did create a little list, but I mean, I'm assuming neither of you have a list. Have you even seen 10 movies this year, Leander?
That's a good question.
I ask questions. I'm known for that.
I feel like
maybe we can also include new, as in you haven't watched before.
Nah, it's 2023 movies, brother.
I haven't watched 10 2023 movies, but I've watched like I don't know, like.
No, I'm talking 2023 movies.
I don't know if I've watched any.
What do you mean any?
You watched the cinema once.
You watched Across the Spider-Verse. That was this year. You watched John Wick 4?
No.
Did you see John Wick 4?
Haven't yet watched that.
You saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Apparently there was something I was going to watch, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
That's last year.
Oh, was that last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, last year now.
Oh, okay. Well, into the Spider-Verse, or Across the Spider-Verse, whatever the name is. That I watched that just recently. Yeah,
and that was your top movie of the year.
Yeah, that was
his best and worst movie of the year.
Best and worst. Also, yeah.
Well, what about me? What have I seen this year that's new and fresh? Wait, so the Pooh, Honey and...
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was this year.
That was this year? Okay, well then that would be undoubtedly...
the worst, yeah.
Definitely the worst.
I'd also put it on my worst, but it's not my least favourite. It's just the worst I've seen this year.
It's got the lowest rating. It was fun.
Yeah, was it?
It was. We were laughing at how bad it was.
Yeah, but we weren't laughing it in the same way as we laughed like a Neil Breen film.
That's true.
It was like
that's
true.
Actually.
We more actively groaned than we did laugh.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did I see? I've seen Saw 10.
Yeah.
That was okay. Saw
10.
Wait, what have I seen?
I don't know what you've seen, brother.
What have I seen with you at the cinema? Just Saw 10.
We went and saw 10, yeah. We did go and see... did we? We went and saw Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Barbie and Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Oppenheimer.
You did see Oppenheimer, so you saw 2 films this year.
Yeah,
wow.
That makes 2.
Amazing.
Which did you prefer, Across the Spider-Verse or Oppenheimer?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, it was good for the first half, but then it kind of just... I didn't fall asleep, but I could have if I really wanted to. I
mean, Oppenheimer creeped into my top 10. I've got 3 lists. I've got my top 10, bottom 10, and then 10 movies I still haven't seen but really want to. So I'm going to list 30 movies in total.
Good God.
How many movies have you seen this year?
I'll check.
Numbers don't go that high, Hector.
Yeah, you silly bollocks. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I guess 28.
Nice.
Yeah. And, that was, most of them are in the cinema, Yeah.
Wow, so that's like 2 or 3 a month.
Yeah.
Nice.
I try to go often, And again, I've still got 10 movies. Actually, I'll do that one first. And these are the 10 movies I still need to watch, in order of how much I want to watch them. So, number 1 is I want to watch it the most. Number 10 is, But yeah, number 10, a film called Dumb Money, which is about the GameStop exchange thing that happened.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And
interesting.
I thought the trailer looked
whole movie about that?
Yeah, there's a movie about that.
Jesus.
Yeah. Number 9, A Haunting in Venice. That's the 3rd in the trilogy of Poirot. The detective, Agatha Christie, big moustache.
I don't know that.
It follows A Murder on an Orient Express and Death on the Nile. And it's got the trailer looked good. I don't think they're great films. They look fun. They're fun films. But it had a real horror tone, the trailer, to the point where, when Poirot appeared at the end, I actually was a bit like, what? It's one of those ones? No way. So yeah, I'll watch that. Number 8, The Creator. I don't know, man. It's by the director of Rogue One, which is, even with the, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, is my least favourite Star Wars movie. I really can't stand Rogue One. But I've heard a lot of good things, so I'll check it out. Number 7, Blackberry. The only reason I want to see this one is that Glenn Howerton's in it from It's Always Sunny. And he's got a shaved head and he plays a very angry man. And I love that.
Nice.
Yeah. Number 6, Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese's newest film. Only reason I didn't see it is because it's like 3.5 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm not asked to sit in a cinema for that long. I mean, I sat in a cinema for 14 hours for Doctor Who.
It's trendy for movies to be that long now.
Did I not tell you that?
You sat in the cinemas for 14 hours.
Oh, you didn't mention that.
I've never told you that.
You didn't. You should have brought that up in the things you did this
Oh my god,
year.
I should have actually. Yeah. Alright, so when the 60th came back, with David Tennant and Madonna, the BBC ran a contest to go and watch the entirety of Series 4 in cinemas. So that's...
You know what I'm about to say next.
Continue. That's the Runaway... I know exactly what you're about to say, actually, yeah. That's the Runaway Bride, and then... it's 14 episodes. It's Runaway Bride, and then Partners in Crime all the way through to Journey's End. And it was a 14 episodes, 14 hours with 15-minute breaks every 3 episodes or so. It was a lot of fun, and a big reason why I agreed to do it is because I know I like Doctor Who and I've seen it before, and I really enjoy the genre of sci-fi, and because I haven't seen it before, I didn't feel scared to like leave and go to the toilet. I know exactly what happened while I was in the toilet, and I feel like that should be the end of the conversation. Yeah.
So you're telling me that you could sit through 14 hours straight of Doctor Who, but 9 hours of Lord of the Rings couldn't be broken up. That can be broken up. Isn't within the realm of...
Well, as I said, I've seen Doctor Who before. I really enjoy it. And let's just end it there. Also, the breaking up thing isn't accurate, because Doctor Who can be broken up even more. It's 14 hours, 14 episodes. So I had more mental checkpoints. Maybe if someone edited The Lord of the Rings into a TV show. Or maybe I'll just watch... Oh, would that annoy you? If I skip the movies and I just watch the Amazon TV show Lord of the Rings, which I've heard is fucking awful.
Good God.
Would that annoy you?
That would. Really
or if I didn't watch the show or the movies, I just played that Gollum game that came out this year.
Gollum.
Did you see that
Gollum game?
It's like the worst game of the year.
Amazing.
Yeah. But so 3.5 hours. I'll watch it, at home, in the comfort of my own home, where I can piss and pause. But cinemas, I was like, fuck that. Number 5, a film called The Killer. Don't know much about it, just heard really good shit. Who did I hear it from? Who said it was good? The Killer. My stepdad said it was good. My stepdad saw it. I think it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. I don't remember exactly how he explained it, but it sounded interesting enough. 4, Rye Lane. This was like a little British indie comedy about these, I don't know. It's not my sort of film, but there was something really charming about the trailer. Actually, it looked really lovely to me. And I really do want to see it. It looks like it's the same sort of tone. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of this film, but East is East. West is West. You ever hear of those films? It looked like a similar sort of tone there. It was like just a little indie, innocent comedy. It looked fun. Number 3, Inside. Willem Dafoe plays a crazy guy. Inside.
Oh, I think I've seen trailers for that. Yeah.
And God knows I love a bit of Willem Dafoe. I love William Dafoe,
We all
good
love
actor.
that, man.
Good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just looked really good. Number 2, Saltburn. Oh man, I really, really wanted to watch this in cinemas, man. But it had like a very limited run at my cinema. It was only in it for like fucking 2 days or something like that. And I missed my chance. It's on Prime now, so I'll probably watch it tomorrow, to be fair. My sisters watched it, weirdly enough, and she was like, you have to watch it. And I was like, I was going to, don't tell me what to do. But no, I'm really looking forward to that, to watching that. And then number 1 is a film called Poor Things. I don't know much about it. It's got Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo, and I think Emma Stone's like a bit of a Frankenstein. She's like put together or something like that. It looks really fucking strange, and I think from the trailers, it's really my sort of film. It did come out this year, but for British cinemas, it won't be out until later this month. So if I want to see it in cinemas, I've just got to wait a bit, essentially. But yeah, that are 10 films I haven't seen, but want to, and I feel like, especially the top half of that list, they could sneak into my top 10. Absolutely.
There is one movie that did come out this year that I probably will watch in the cinemas, but I think it only was released in the cinemas 26th of December, so...
What film?
It's called The Boy and the Heron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the final, well, you'd have to fact check it, but I believe it's the final movie to be made by Ghibli Studios.
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli even.
Yeah.
Ghibli,
Ghibli!
yeah.
And so yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that at some point, but...
Oh, you know what? You're going to hate me. So you know how I was just saying about the 14 hours of Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Well, there's a YouTuber called Quentin Reviews who's been doing, for a couple of years now, he reviews episodes of Nickelodeon sitcoms, so iCarly, Sam and Cat, and Victorious. And And you know, you're just saying like, 8 hours of Lord of the Rings, you can't sit through that. Okay, so he's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 parts of this sitcom review. The first part is 4 hours 45 minutes. The second part 3 hours 35. That's reasonable, right? Third part 5 hours 34. Fourth part 8 hours and 5 minutes.
Jesus.
Then 5 hours 7 minutes. 6 hours 28, and then the latest one 6 days ago 9 hours 30 minutes.
Why and how is it 9 hours long?
Because it goes into depth. It came out Boxing Day. And then the day after, I watched it all in one sitting.
There's that much to talk about. You could go for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Wow.
And that was part 3 of the Sam and Cat review.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But no, he goes very in depth. But yeah, and not only that, but I have, from the beginning watched them for like an entire day. And I'd rather do that again than watch Lord of the Rings. And it's just to spite you at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so with that though, here's my actual top 10, bearing in mind the movies I haven't seen. And I do think this is subject to change. There are some films on here that I know I didn't actually like that much, but just because I haven't seen as many movies this year as I would have liked to, it's stuck there. Particularly number 10, Wonka. I liked Wonka. I said it in my review. I did appreciate Wonka. But man, no, there has to be better movies made this year than Wonka. So, I could easily see Saltburn or Poor Things kicking that out.
I mean, the number of movies being released has only just started ramping up again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, a lot of films that I just haven't gotten around to.
Yeah, and there was the strike as well. Not even just recovery from COVID. There was like the actors and writers strike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Number 9, a film called Beau is Afraid, new movie from the director of Midsommar and Hereditary. Ari Aster. Weird film, 3 hours long. It's a horror. A 3 hour horror. Well, it is a horror thriller. Really weird film. Weird ending. Strange enough, I went to see it with my sister and it was a strange enough ending that at the end we came out and she was like, that's the film you really wanted to see? Like, you really, really wanted to see that? And I was like, well, I didn't know,
Yeah.
Number 8, Oppenheimer. Because it was, again, I enjoyed it. I agree the last hour is shocking, but I've said it, I think I said it in my review on the podcast. If it ended after the bomb went off, it would be like a fucking 9 or a 10. I really, really love the first 2 acts of the film. I really do.
I agree.
And then number 7, Saw 10. I actually really liked it. I don't think it belongs in the top 10. I can't wait for a film to kick it out. Did I enjoy it more than Oppenheimer? Yeah. I mean, just because it was paced, it's shorter.
Yeah.
It's more fun, Number 6, Evil Dead Rise. I actually really, really like Evil Dead Rise. I'm fine with that being in my top 10. I really, really liked it. It was a lovely refresh of Evil Dead. The idea of, because all the other films have been stuck in like fucking cabins in the woods. So the idea to take the demon from that and put it in a big skyscraper hotel, of fucking flats. I really, really enjoyed that concept. Had some really good horror and gore. I don't need to explain myself to you, Hector. Looking at me with your judgmental eyes.
You can do if you want.
But yeah, who cares about those now? Now we're in the top 5.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah. Number 5, I'd put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Another one that I would actually rather not be there. I liked it. It's the worst Guardians. Have you seen it?
I haven't, no.
It's the worst Guardians film, but it's still like good. It's still a 7, it's good. It made some weird choices that I really disagree with, particularly in the way it presents the story and then the characters. Like, technically the main character of this film is Rocket, but he's barely in it.
Oh, right.
But he's the main character. It explores a lot of his backstory in flashbacks, but like, in terms of the actual present day, he's barely in it. And it's like, man, if you want him to be the main character, have him be an active part of the fucking plot. Like, flashbacks are nice, but don't have the entire thing rely on it, Whatever. 4, Barbie. I loved Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie was really good.
I really loved Barbie.
I liked Barbie. Barbie was great fun.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to enjoy it like when I first watched it, and then I ended up really, really liking it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm fine with Barbie being there. Number 3, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Really great. Yeah. Really, really great.
Really good.
We talked about it a little bit yesterday off podcast. It is kind of half a movie. And my actual rating of the whole experience will obviously have to wait. But if I try and rate it as a standalone product, I still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, still some really good shit.
It's definitely really good as a movie in its own right, but I think you're kind of misguided with the title because
it should have stayed as part 1.
Yeah, it should definitely state that it's a part 1 because
they did something similar with Infinity War and Endgame where it was originally just Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. Changing the title to that makes a lot more sense. Well, Infinity War you could say ends on a cliffhanger. It doesn't. It's actually a complete story. They just lose.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's ended on a cliffhanger. Thanos won.
Yeah.
That's the end. Technically, as much as people wouldn't have been happy, that could have just been the last ending, you know, there wouldn't have been any outrage. But to actually end it on a title card to be continued, add a part 1.
Yeah.
Add a part 1. Don't remove it. You know?
Especially when you cut it at such a
pivotal moment.
Yeah, such a pivotal moment in the plot and you're just like,
See, they said it was like, it was kind of not inspired, but it was similar to what they did in The Empire Strikes Back. Because The Empire Strikes Back ends on a cliffhanger. But again, no, it doesn't. It's not real to be continued. Han gets frozen in carbonite and taken to Jabba the Hutt. You know, they've lost a member of their team. They're in their kind of lowest place and they're staring out looking for what to do next. That's not, you could end it there. If Across the Spider-Verse was the end, it'd be nothing. I'd hate it, in fact.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that they removed part 1 from it is, they shouldn't have. They really shouldn't have. But still good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Number 2, John Wick, Chapter 4. Fucking great.
I thought it was great.
Really, really great.
Great bit of choreography, nice action. Yeah.
It's not my favourite in the series. I fucking love Chapter 3, Parabellum. You know, where all the assassins are hunting him. And, you know, he's got to fucking go against the, who is that guy? What's happening? Where am I? No, so.
The third one?
Yeah, alright, so in the second one, he kills the guy who hired him to murder his sister.
Yeah.
In the Continental.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's...
I might not have seen the third one, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I might not have seen it.
Oh, you should. It's the best one. But then, yeah, in the third, he's getting hunted by all the assassins and, the high priestess or the fucking high table, whatever is.
Yeah. And then he gets shot right before. So
there's a big battle in the Continental because they had to shut it down.
Oh, wait, no, maybe I have seen that one.
Yeah, and
if I have, it's probably a while ago.
And Winston shoots him off a roof and he goes crawling to find Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, yeah, I think I have seen that.
I think the action in that movie is, I mean, while the action in John Wick 4 is fantastic, there's something about Chapter 3. There's especially one action scene. They're in like a little antique shop full of weapons, and it's one of my. So it begins with them like they're like throwing knives at each other, and then once they've run out of knives to throw, they just start fighting with the knives.
Yeah,
and I fucking love it. The first time I saw that little scene, I was on the not on the edge of my seat out of tenseness, but like just like, man, this is awesome. I felt like a kid. Best scene in this in Chapter 4 was the action scene where it suddenly goes from like a bird's eye view, and you see it's like a video game.
That is cool.
That was a
I
really
quite liked
awesome
the fight sequence with the big boss guy.
Yeah. To be fair, that was
the music, the choreography in the nightclub. That was just an awesome.
That reminded me a lot. Actually, it's funny because that guy's a lot like the Kingpin.
Yeah,
and then they have a blind ninja who's just Daredevil. Yeah. The fight on the stairs goes on for too long. It does, but it's also quite funny about it because he finally gets up the stairs and then he falls all the way to the bottom for like 40 seconds. He's just falling downstairs, and he has to climb all the way back up again,
which is a little bit gratuitous.
It's a little bit gratuitous, but it's still a great scene. But yeah, the best action scene without a doubt is that bird's eye view scene. I remember sitting in the cinema being like, this is fucking really not only awesome but like impressive, like really well done, you know.
Yeah.
But number one for me has to be Past Lives. I fucking loved it. It made me cry openly in the cinema, which isn't a joke. I cried.
It made you weep.
It made me weep. Just a beautiful indie film.
I need to watch that.
It's just such a simple story, and sometimes that's all it needs to be. Just something simple and pure and to the heart, you know, just tugs on your heartstrings. Really, really loved it. Can't wait to watch it again. I don't remember if I gave it a 9 or a 10. I think it was a 9. Yeah, it was a 9. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think it's going to go up to a 10. Maybe on a rewatch it would go to an 8. I doubt it. I remember really loving it. But either way, it's definitely my favourite of the year. Definitely. Really, really was. Unless it's one of the ones I haven't seen yet. Maybe Saltburn's my favourite. Or Poor Things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, the last list I have is my 10 least favourite movies of the year.
Oh,
Otherwise known as the Stinky Poo list.
Let's hear those.
Yeah. I don't think you've actually seen a lot of these. Because, you haven't seen that many. Whatever. But number 10 was a film called Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain.
Even the fucking title is bad. Please don't destroy the treasure of Foggy Mountain.
No, it's not. It's called Please Don't Destroy, the treasure. So Please Don't Destroy our little comedy troupe.
I see. Right,
I actually really love. They work with SNL, and they're like the funniest thing on SNL right now. They've done some really, really funny shit. So when they announced they were making a movie, I was cautiously excited. I was like, okay, if it follows, they're like Auntie Donna-ish. But when they announced they were making a movie, I was like, okay, as long as it stays with that kind of absurdist humour that I'm really loving with SNL, it'll be good. But then it doesn't do that. It's not really absurd. It's just silly. Like it's just doing shit. Like there's this, I don't know. It just wasn't funny. It wasn't as funny as it should have been. The funniest scene in the film is one of them gets indoctrinated into a cult, and then it's like cuts to like 6 months later, and he enters the restaurant where his two friends are, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm doing good. Life is good. Please save me. I'm doing well. And they're like, what did you say? Did you say please save me? He was like, oh no, I don't need to be saved. Look at my friends. And they turn, and all the cult members are stood outside like staring in, and they're like, Jesus, that's scary. And he's like, yeah. You guys really need to save me. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. And I was like, yeah, I mean, little chuckle, but that shouldn't be the funniest scene in the fucking movie. Like,
is this supposed to be a comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that is sad.
Yeah. Number 9, a movie called Fool's Paradise. This was the directorial debut of Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He wrote and directed it. Where he plays, it's weird, because, it's 2023, but there's no other way of wording it. He plays like a retard. He plays an actor who gets injured, and they find a guy just released from an institute essentially, who can't speak, can barely think, who's just a complete, as I said, retard, who is also played by Charlie, so it looks exactly like him. So they're trying to have this guy be star in the movie instead of the actor. And he ends up becoming famous. Oh, there's a really dumb joke in it where, because the guy can't speak, no one knows his name. And they start calling him, I'm going to find out. Because I remember when I was watching it, I was like, I really was. That's it. So there's a assistant who asks, there's another actor who's asking for a coffee, and he goes, latte, pronto. And that's just what they call him. Latte, pronto. And it was like, yeah, it just wasn't that funny.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Which I've watched it. I mean, whatever. Always next time. Yeah. Number 8, You People. Film on Netflix, Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill. It's all about, interracial couples. Can black and white people really get along? Yeah, they can. It's 2023, man. Come on. There's one scene where Jonah Hill unironically proves himself on a basketball court to Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy's like, I misjudged you. I respect you now.
Oh wait, I've seen trailers for this. Wow, it was bad, was it?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. Number 7, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Oh, just pish. Real pish. Real pish. I didn't think it could be worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp 2. For the longest time, Ant-Man and the Wasp 2... no, sorry, it's just Ant-Man and the Wasp, actually. Ant-Man and the Wasp was my least favourite MCU movie. Then, I mean, even then, Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 isn't my least favourite. It's Thor: Love and Thunder. But man, 3's awful. Terrible, terrible time. Visually, shocking. It looks like shit. Have you seen Spy Kids recently?
No.
It's moved from the 2000s with the worst CGI, and it looks exactly like that.
Oof.
Just the worst. Not the worst CGI on this list, though. We'll get to that. Number 6, M. Freegan, which is this year, really early this year, but still this year. Terrible movie, terrible horror movie. Not scary in the slightest. Fucking, she does a little TikTok dance. I don't care. Number 5, a movie called Cobweb. Another horror movie. I really wanted it to be good. It stars, you don't know the names, but Lizzie Kaplan and Anthony Starr. Anthony Starr plays Homelander.
Mm.
And,
I see.
And they're like parents to this boy who thinks that their house is, haunted by a monster. And then it turns out that the monster is like his sister who lives in the walls. But then so she tricks him to thinking that the parents are like evil and like locked her in there. But then he lets her out and it turns out she's actually like a spider woman who eats the parents and then wants to eat the boy. And then the boy has a teacher. It's so cliche. The boy has a teacher and the teacher's grown concerned because he's convinced her the parents are evil, and she breaks down the door and they trap the spider creature in a well. It's just fucking stupid. It's just a dumb movie for dummies. Hated it. I really don't like it.
Before you continue, you said your least favourite Marvel
movies? Thor: Love and Thunder.
What about, because for me personally, I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, so I don't know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But I have seen, and it was probably the last Marvel movie that I've watched. And then I was like, alright, I'm done with Marvel until they, start being good again.
Yeah.
Doctor Who into the Multiverse of Doctor Strange. Not Doctor Who. Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. That was really... I struggled to sit through all of that.
I certainly have problems with it. It's nowhere near the worst. It's not. My main problem with it is the pacing is really jarring. It's really it's simultaneously too short and too long.
Yeah,
which is is weird.
But also on top of that, the script writing,
the writing
shit.
The writing shocking.
Like, it's god awful.
The whole introduction of the Illuminati is so fucking forced. And then they all get killed by Wanda.
Yeah.
My main problem, ironically, is with the title. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness should have been called Doctor Strange and the 2.5 Universes of Madness. Yeah. Because you're not exploring the multiverse. There's 2 universes and then you go through a bunch of them in a very short montage. For Multiverse of Madness, ironically... Everything Everywhere All at Once is more fitting of the title of the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was pish. It's something...
And it felt more like the CGI felt so... I feel like the movie...
for a while with the MCU now.
The movie could be summarised as a cesspool of too much CGI.
Yeah.
Everything was CGI and it was just like...
One problem with it, because of the title... Which might be why it might be part of the reason I don't judge it too harshly, is because everyone hated it because they were expecting it to be like a cameo fest. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna get the X-Men and Wesley Snipes' Blade and the old Fantastic Four. Chris Evans is gonna be in it as Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four. We're probably gonna get like fucking." And it's like
that wasn't my issue with it. My issue with it was that I was expecting.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That shouldn't be an issue. Your stupid, unresolved not yours, but the audience's unresolved expectations is on them. The movie didn't promise that. The title maybe hinted that with Multiverse of Madness, but if you were expecting fucking Rick and Morty and Batman to show up, that's on you, pal. Don't blame the movie, Yeah.
No, I was expecting just better writing. But anyway.
I mean, I didn't rate it high. I think I gave it 5, maybe a 6.
IMDb, I think it got a 7, which
6.9.
6.9, and that just like blew me away because I was just like,
I gave that a 5 and I gave the first one a 6. Before Love and Thunder, I gave it 2. As I did Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's still more enjoyable than Thor: Love and Thunder. Number 4, The Flash. Fuck it. I talked to you too about The Flash on the podcast. Just a terrible time. It's just awful. Also a 2. But a worse 2 than any of the other 2s. I wish I could give it a 1. But there's like one scene I really do like. And everything else is garbage. Fucking awful. Yeah. I don't need to rewatch that. Re-listen to that episode, you know. Number 3, a film called Hypnotic. Ben Affleck film. This is when I just got in my unlimited screening card and I was going to go watch everything. I hadn't seen the trailer, didn't know anything. I didn't even know Ben Affleck was in it. I just saw there was a screening for something and I was like, let's go see that. And God almighty. Fucking hell. I sat there for 90 minutes. Just, it was like I'd shat my pants at the very start. And I'd been sitting there with shit in my pants for 90 minutes. So at the end I was like, oh, get me out of this fucking screen. But yeah, it was garbage. It was about this. It's so cliche. He's like a detective, and there's a guy he's going around who can like hypnotise and control minds. And there's like a kid. He's got a kid who's like the most powerful mind controller. And then as he's going on, he's partnered with a psychic. But it turns out, oh no, the psychic's the bad guy. She's not psychic. He's psychic. He's the one who's psychic. She's just directing him to be psychic, and she's the bad guy. And the bang villain, he's actually the good guy. Whoa! And it's like, fuck you. Like, you're so fucking stupid. Fucking retards. Like, hated that movie. Hated that movie so much. Actual 1 out of 10. Oh, by the way, these last 3 are 1 out of 10s.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Number 2, Joyride. A load of Chinese women go back home and it's a comedy. It tries. Most of the comedy is just shouting. Like someone will say, like, oh, have you tried? Shut the fuck up, Kevin. Yeah, shut up, Kevin. You fucking vagina. Oh, vagina. Look at my vagina. Like Amy Schumer level, just cringe, fucking bullshit comedy. And then the worst scene I've seen in the cinema happens, like, ever. Where I'm sat in the cinema, I'm like, okay. I don't check my phone all the time during the cinema. I was okay. I think the film's an hour and a half. I think it's been an hour. I just have to be on autopilot and live. Then the women go to an airport dressed as a K-pop band because they're going to try and sneak in. And they're like, and the airport security is like, well, how do we know you're a K-pop band? Why don't you sing us a song?
Oh,
and no. I was like, oh, oh, fuck. Okay, well, how much worse can it get? I found out. Because then one of them starts making noises, and another one starts going, there's some hoes in this house, they sing rap, wet ass pussy. But not only do they sing wet ass pussy in a K-pop style, but it then hard cuts to a heavily edited, stylized K-pop music video where they're like doing choreographed dance and there's like fucking things happening on the screen constantly. It's like doing close-ups and fucking things are spinning. And I remember thinking, I was sat there, I was with my sister. I didn't know I was going to see this film. They do secret screenings where you don't know what you're going to go see. And I remember sitting in the cinema and I thought 3 things. One, I thought, okay, I don't know if I like my sister enough to stay. My sister really doesn't like going and seeing films by herself. And I halfway through the film, before that even happened, I was like, I might go. And she was like, please don't go. I don't want to be here alone. I was like, fine. At that moment, the first thing I thought was, I don't know if I like you enough to stay. I might go. And then I thought, okay, I can't go. Oh, maybe I could try falling asleep. I can't fall. I've never fallen asleep in cinema. But maybe if I shut my eyes and like count sheep, I could fall asleep. And then I realised that wasn't going to work. And my third thought came in, which was, I want to kill myself. I wish I had a knife and I could slit my throat in front of all these people and ruin the film for all of them too. Oh. Just awful. But yeah, that would be that's not the worst film I've seen this year. It's my least favourite though. fucking hell, I would rather shove a cactus into my cock, like up my cock hole, than watch that film again. Just a complete 1 out of 10. Complete 1 out of 10. But while it was my least favourite, the worst film I've seen this year is definitely Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah, that is the worst.
Just worst made, worst executed, worst ideas.
Yeah.
Just worst edited,
worst acting.
Yeah. That's barely a movie.
Yeah.
I always feel bad putting it, because it is barely a movie. That's like putting a Neil Breen movie as the worst.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this was nowhere near as fun as a Neil Breen movie. Nowhere near as passionate. That's what changed it. It's the passion.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like it had passion. This felt like it was a money grab.
Yeah.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh's just entered the public domain. Let's have him kill and rape women. I don't know if he actually... So he basically does. At one point, he takes one of them, and then he just grabs... and rips all of her clothes off in one swift motion.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And then he kills her.
Yeah.
Just an awful experience.
Terrible, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if someone showed me that and said, hey, this is my uni project. What do you think?
Which is hilarious, because Dan knows people who worked on that movie.
Yeah. There you go.
And I hope they're listening. You made a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my least favourite. I still Joyride. Anyone listening to this, if you were involved in the production of Joyride, you'll stop listening. I'm going to block your IP. But yeah. I think that's it from me, at least. Have you guys got anything to add?
Don't believe so.
Nothing from
Do you
me.
guys want to quickly throw up on the carpet?
Oh, we could do. Yeah.
Should we all throw up together?
Yeah.
Onto the microphone.
Yes. Yeah. Onto the microphone.
Yeah. We did karaoke. You suspect that someone dropped the microphone.
Yes, but I managed to take it apart
You did manage to take it,
and try and it's now. It did have a big ass fucking dent on it. The dent is kind of still visible, but
it's nowhere near as big. Yeah.
Not as visible anymore. And also, like, the diaphragm inside the mic had kind of like.
It was at an angle.
Yeah, it was like bent a little bit, so I just kind of like bent it back into place. So if this sounds different to the previous one, then maybe that's why.
And I also again want to assure all the viewers that we are working on getting another mic, maybe even 2 more mics if Leander wants to become a permanent member. And if that happens, instead of being like this, I'm going to quickly demonstrate. I mean, it would be a bit more central like this, and then we can have a bit more in-depth conversation, and, you know, it would probably turn the sensitivity down on the mic. And it would just be a lot cleaner, a lot more personal, you know. But instead, you know, we're all sitting around the mic. You can put it back now. Instead, we're all sitting around the mic having to kind of over-project our voice a bit so it could be heard.
Yeah.
I'm practically shouting. It might not sound... I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
Every podcast
red
is
in
like
the face.
physical, strenuous activity.
We can only do one a week, because for the rest of it, I've lost my voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it then.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a long
How long was
podcast. An hour and a half, hour and 40.
Hour 40 is fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just like that's actually fairly long,
That's
considering
fine.
we haven't had much to talk
I've said
about.
before, minimum an hour, maximum 2.5.
Yeah.
That's my rules of a podcast. Yeah.
Well, we're perfectly inside that, and so
Well, thanks for joining us today again, Leander.
No, it's okay.
indeed.
We hope to see you more and more, because you have been hired. You're
Dan's replacement. Yes,
I am.
Dan's replacement. Yeah.
Which makes me like, that even makes me, it's either less of my podcast now or more if you think about it. Because like, now because there's 2 brothers on the podcast.
Now it's less your podcast.
No, or is it more?
Why would it be more?
Well, it's either that it's podcast featuring Bradley, or it's like, I'm so powerful that I need two family, 2 brothers to offset my pure ego and adrenaline. You know?
Yeah.
So it's actually, it's either the podcast featuring Bradley, or it's Bradley's podcast featuring the
Yeah. And take that however you wish. The audience can decide.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Yeah. But yeah, that's it then. Thank you for listening to episode 36, which by the way is mad, because I remember recording episode 30 and I made that joke where it was like, oh, we only planned for 30, so this will be the last episode.
Yeah.
That wasn't too long ago. I remember saying that. You know, now we're only on 36.
We have upped the ante.
Yeah.
We have started doing
By the end of the year, we might actually be on like episode 80. Think about that.
Yeah. Actually, we might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably more, unless we take like a break or something.
Yeah, I mean, let's assume that there may be at least between 1 and 5 weeks throughout the year where we aren't able to record the podcast.
Yeah, something could happen. Anything,
which is still,
one of us could go.
That's still 50. That's still around about 50 episodes. So yeah, we will easily be at about 80. I think.
And what's nice about having 3 hosts, if you do join properly, which I hope you do, is that say one of us can't make it
or dies,
Yeah.
Well, if one of us, maybe not Leander, let's be fair, but if one of us dies, I say we stop the podcast.
No, I say if one of us dies, we want this podcast to go on forever. This podcast is never.
Well, what if all of us dies? We just hand it off to Dan in the will when he has to make it with Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, like, and then, you know, we'll pass it down to our children, you know, when they come of age.
But Dad, I don't want to be a podcast host. You fuck, don't let me down. No, but for real, like, say Hector goes on holiday, but you want someone here to water the plants or to house it. I would happily do that for you. I'll work down the road, you know.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you know, you could still come over and we could still record a podcast, you know.
That's true.
If I'm on holiday, just, you know, do it without me, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice about free, you know.
Indeed.
Unless 2 of us on holiday, and then I don't know what you do actually. I guess it just
are there podcasts where it's just one person?
Yeah, but it's always whenever I've heard them, it's either a comedian like basically saying stand-up shit to practice, or it's like a serial killer podcast where they're doing it like a documentary, like, and then on October 15th, like kind of shit.
Well, what you could do is if 2 people say me and you were both unavailable, then you could have a guest, say Sammy, I don't know.
Yeah,
and
you could just invite anyone over. Do it with Shamog, you know?
Yeah, we should invite more sporadic people onto the podcast, I think, every so often.
We should invite President Joe Biden into the podcast.
President Joe Biden. I love President Joe Biden. Yeah.
So
Dan would quit the podcast if you heard us say
he quit the second he moved to America, but
yeah, he needs to get that microphone sorted out. Yeah, but I think that's all. Thank you everyone for listening. We will see you in the next one.
Stay safe.
Ciao, ciao.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.